What happens in that instance? Because you all of a sudden start bleeding.
But why can't they put ice here so to stop the nosebleeds, to keep themselves cool?
The ice will melt in that heat.
Well, then in that case, is the nosebleed due to the heat that is coming on the head? Yeah? Then in that case, why can't you stay inside the tents? I'm just saying, the first call is to avoid it, to prevent it. Yes? Now, if somebody starts bleeding, there's no problem. We need to tend to them. There's no kafara, there is nothing. The only thing is that the ihram needs to be washed or replaced. That's about it. But what I'm asking is, if somebody does have nosebleeds due to exposure to the sun, then they are not allowed to be under the sun. They are not allowed to be under the sun. And if they know that it's going to lead to a nosebleed, at that point to walk with a shade as a need is allowed, even if it means giving a penalty. Yes? But that would take priority over this. We have to be very careful. Yeah. Sir?
If the shoes break while you're doing Hajj for you, it comes off and you missed it, so can you carry on without the shoes or with the chappal?
Yeah, you can, and that's a very real thing that happens, especially when you are stoning the jamarat or the shaitan. Many people lose their slippers there, and it's very painful. We've never asked people to carry an extra pair of slippers, have we? But people do lose slippers, and it's very difficult to walk there, and the slippers that are there are of the unfortunate people like you who've been there before us. So we can't even take their slippers, because it's not ours. I don't know how we cater for that, but yes, if it comes off, we walk without slippers, or buy them, or use an extra pair.
Can you carry the spare one?
You can, of course you can. In fact, that might be a very good idea.
On the male garment of the two seamless white clothes, is there any distinction in the use of the money belt to save your valuables as opposed to preserving modesty?
Absolutely, I forgot to say that. We can tie a belt around the ihram or around our necks or a pouch to carry our valuables in. The requirement, although, is that the belt primarily is not used to support the ihram. Primarily it's not, you see, you can say, well, I'm not knotting the ihram, but you're tying it with a belt. No, the ihram is secured by itself. The money belt or whatever it is does not act as a belt securing the ihram. It is only there to hold the money. And you can wear that for sure.
Just back to the point of ghusl, there were two things you mentioned. One, ghusl for going to do ziyarah, and the ghusl for going into ihram. Ghusl for doing ziyarah, every day should we do ghusl?
Yeah, and every day, several times if need be, or you don't have to, it's mustahab.
Oh, it's mustahab.
It's mustahab.
Okay. Secondly, ghusl for when we go into, I'm not sure how far the mosque is exactly, Mr. Sharjah. Can we do ghusl from here, or should we go and do it there?
No, you can do it from here. Do all the du'as and the mustahabbat of ghusl from here. That's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. As far as Masjid al-Nabi is concerned, obviously first we should have explained this at the very beginning, but we need to do 2 rakat namaz, tahiyyah of the masjid in honor of the mosque itself. However, the riwayat say that if you pray a wajib salah in there, it's finished, it's done. Yeah? But if anybody wants to do it even now, they can do so. 2 rakat salah to salute the mosque. In ihram as well, there are certain units of prayers we need to do and certain du'as, but nearing the date we'll explain that, so that it's retained in the minds. Sorry. No.
You said with insects. If you have an insect on, sometimes this is an involuntary sort of
That's fine.
reflex.
That's fine. That's fine.
And if, for example, like there's sweat dripping down your face, and you're not sure whether it's a drop of sweat or something, or it could be a bug, are you allowed just to wipe it away, or should you just sort of leave it?
That's a good question. Well, I'll tell you what. Naturally, if you would naturally just brush it away, then that's fine. That's the end of it. Yes. If you become mindful as to what it is, And if it is a very big insect on your body, definitely panic and remove it. Because we are talking about normal insects that are found, like lice and things like that. You know, not things that come on like there's a wasp on, you know, is it a wasp or is it a drop of sweat? No, remove it immediately. Yeah? When we talk about insects, we're talking about those natural parasites that feed on the human body by staying there. Not those that visit and go. That's what we mean. And it's very important that people get this right. Bees, wasps, things like that, run away, flick them away, do whatever else you have to do. They're very dangerous.
Sure. Sorry, if you're allergic to insect bites, can you use a gel that's an insect repellent if it's fragrance free?
If you are, what? Allergic, yes, you can. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Question about the belt. You said the belt that holds your money.
Yes, sir.
Most of the time you're wearing a belt and you know that it is for the purpose of carrying your money or whatever it is. But you know eventually it's going to hold your...
Okay, then in that case, if the primary intention is not to support the ihram, it's to hold your valuables. Secondarily, it supports the ihram, then that's fine. You see, it's here to do with intention. A person might say, okay, I need a belt to hold up the ihram, primarily, and then I can put my valuables in there as well. Or somebody will say, look, I can go without the belt, I can support my ihram by itself, yes? But I need a belt to hold my valuables. Now, since you've got a belt, you're not going to tie your ihram and then put the belt on top and ensure that the belt is not holding the ihram. You can do both in one. You can say, well, I'm using the belt in a way that it will inevitably be supporting the ihram, but not because I need it to. It is primarily there for holding my valuables, that's fine.
I mean, we'll show everybody how to tie the ihram so well in such a way that you won't need belts to hold it. It'll be super.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yes.
Very good.
This is why I said to you, both is a better option.
I read that you're saying that you can't cover your head at all. Now, I read that applies to if you got other after a war or you wet your hair or something like that. You can't use a towel to dry your hair. Is that correct? And
No, you can use a towel to dry your hair, so long as it's not, for example, somebody has a shower whilst in ihram. It's perfectly fine to have a shower whilst in ihram, yes? Then you can use a towel to dry your hair, that's fine.
And does like a similar rule apply to women if, for example, they need to blow their nose and they've got tissue?
Not at all, it's perfectly fine for them to hold the tissue, blow their nose. One of the things about ihram is that the two garments have to be tahir and clean, yes? But the person entering into ihram needn't be clean spiritually and ceremonially, yes? They can have the minor and major state of spiritual impurity, and that's fine. And obviously this is, wudu breaks whilst on route, or sometimes women, they have their own sort of issues, and they may not be clean at all in that sense spiritually, but that's fine. Ihram can still be, the state of ihram can still be gotten into. And the rest of it is, obviously we'll explain as we go along.
Can you wear double ihram, like 2 layers? So
Yeah, you can.
One acts as a backup. So
You can.
have the other one in.
Well, you can for need, protection from cold and so on and so forth.
But not unnecessary.
It will be very
Can you wear
difficult.
2 layers, like 2 bottoms, and which the top is not that important, the bottom is.
Can I just say something about ihram? By the time you finish stoning the shaitan, of course we guys nowadays don't go to the abattoir to sacrifice the animal. But by the time you finish shooting the shaitan, when you go to the abattoir, you would say to the dhabi, cut my head off. Because you will feel that the best thing at this point in time is to just have your head cut off. This is how terrible the ihram becomes. It's so arduous and difficult. that the best release is to actually die at that point. This is how difficult it is now. If you want to wear 2 ihrams,